when I saw a need here, because I was married to a DNA analyst for a local lab here, the government lab, and I could see the backlog building way back in 2000. And I'd go to conferences with him, and the backlog wasn't just here locally, DNA testing, it was all over the country. And that's when I started getting the idea of anything I could do would help. Even if it's 10 cases a year, it will get done. And so that's why we started.
I like when we're all problem solving together as a group, and we have all the senior leadership trying to figure out a solution to whatever the problem is. Like if we're bringing on a new instrument and we have to do a validation, like how do we get this done at the same time of keeping our casework and solving cases at the same time, as efficiently as possible, and who's going to work on what, and who has the talent for this, and who has the best time and skill for that. Like that's exciting to me, because these people, these women and men are all so smart. It's just amazing to see the collaboration.
I've been in forensics now for 13 years.
Since 2007.
About 19 years now. I started at the coroner for the coroner's office in Los Angeles, and I've been doing forensics proper for 7 years now.
I've been in forensics for 10 years now.
2.5? Over 10 years now. I'm going on my over 11 years now.
For about 8 years. I've been in forensics for 13 years.
I have been in forensics for 4 years.
3.5 years.
12 years.
Officially about 3 years.
For almost 15 years.
For 11 years.
I've been in forensics for going on 15 years now. It'll be 15 years this October.
3 years.
Almost 20 years.
Total of 7.5 years working in the field.
12 years.
5 years.
Just a little over a year, because genealogy and forensics is very new.
About 2 years.
2 years.
Over a decade.
2 years.
Right around 7 years.
It was actually my first testimony ever, and I had spoken with the DA multiple times, and he started off the discussion about going into my background and training, that Mary Beth, you've been around for such a long time, you've been in here so many times, you know how this goes down, you've just testified so much. And he turned to the jury and he goes, please tell the jury how many times you've testified. And I looked at the jury and kind of chuckled, and I said, this is my first time testifying in court. I was standing next to the chair, still in the witness box, and I was going through a summary table and walking the jury through the alleles and stuff, and I kind of just stepped back to let them be able to see it, and my heel went off the edge of the witness stand, and I kind of just fell out of the witness booth and did this very graceful flailing moment. But the best part of that was one of the jurors kind of jumped up like he was going to try and catch me somehow, but he would have had to jump over the railing.
So my one dream about court that I have recurring is I have a piece of gum in my mouth that I cannot get out for the life of me. So I'm taking it out piece by piece, and it just won't come out, and I'm waiting to get on the stand, but there's still gum in my mouth. And I'm not panicked, but I'm just why can't I get this gum out of my mouth? It's happened dozens of times.
Feels like family. And it's nice because you can see the passion that goes into it. And the fact that it's gone through generations gives it that much more meaning.
The level of caring about the employees is higher when you treat people like family, and I think we're very lucky to have a great place to come and work alongside each other.
I have more conversations with leadership and peers rather than sort of decisions being made from the top down and just being told what to do.
I'm surrounded by family. There's just a sense of comfort and care. You know that your boss cares about you and your well-being just as much as your own family does. And it's really hard to come by that.
I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys, 100%, hands down.
I think I'm more Backstreet Boy than NSYNC.
That's the Hamilton soundtrack.
Probably Jason Bourne.
California Girls, Katy Perry.
Group happy hours, it's just like a nice way to de-stress after work.
I was not a runner 2 years ago. I came to work here, became a runner.
So we love to go to happy hours together. We also love to do mud runs and all kinds of physical activities.
We love to go karaoke. We love to jam in the lab, so why not jam outside?
But goat yoga was pretty fun, where you do yoga and the goats are literally all like baby goats.
Happy hour? I love our happy hours.
In the lab, it would be pumpkin carving contest.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
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 I do. I would like to think so.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Basically, just to name a few, it drives me crazy when people either leave a box of pipette tips with one left and not refill it, or when they go out of order in the pipette tips and just leave random holes everywhere.
I love it. I've always gotten along with women better.
It's a great feeling to be surrounded by a bunch of women that are intelligent, that are organized, and just are driven.
Honestly, it's empowering.
All of us work well together.
I love it.
You know, I quite enjoy it.
I think it's great.
We don't leave any detail left behind.
I get lots of cookies and desserts. A lot of drama.
That's a good question. Is that it?
It's good to see women power coming along.
I love it. It's awesome.
I think it's great. I don't have a problem with it.
It's great.
It's a fantastic change for me. I love working with all these amazing women.
I think it's definitely very empowering to see that it's a very female-dominated field.
Women are meticulous and organized.
I think I'm most impressed with the fantasy football knowledge.
They're like, you use colors to differentiate the DNA. And I was like, yes. And then kind of like knew enough about the different dyes. But then they were like, okay, so if you developed DNA and it was green and my client had blue DNA, would that be an exclusion?
If you were running while holding a gun, how would you hold it? And I thought to myself, well, I've never actually ran while holding a gun, so I had no way to answer that.
It was a CODIS hit to somebody who wasn't a suspect. And in the end, it cleared up the suspicions that it was the husband who had actually committed the murder, and it wasn't. And it led to both sides of the family reconciling.
I had a case with a single casing, and I did spent shell and was able to get a CODIS hit off of it.
Piece of clothing from the victim that was in a bathtub, and it was soaked with her blood. It sat there for over 12 hours in water, and we'd processed over 50 samples for the case originally. And we get to that piece of evidence, we're like, there's no way, it's a long shot. We actually were able to get touch DNA from the suspect.
Reporting out a single source profile that was obtained from a set of casings in a homicide that was also able to be uploaded to CODIS.
Large-scale bone extraction.
Whole genome mitochondrial sequencing.
Probably Star Mix.
Star Mix. Star Mix by far.
Bench shell technique that we developed in our laboratory.
Good old Bertha, our TCAN.
I do really like the MVAC.
Star Mix.
Our spent shell technique.
The 3500.
Genealogy.
Honestly, microscopy.
The MVAC.
So for us,
It is the MVAC.
Introduction of star mix.
I like the MVAC.
Genealogy. I'd say it's star mix. It's made such a difference.
Star mix.
The probabilistic genotyping software StarMix.
Large-scale bone extraction.
MySeq.
Chromosome mapping, something very specific to genetic genealogy.
I think my favorite technology is StarMix.
Probably StarMix.
I actually really like the MVAC. Next-gen sequencing.
StarMix. Ooh, I love StarMix.
What is your favorite part about working with family?
Any embarrassing moments, like in the lab or anything? I feel like I never embarrass myself.
I embarrass myself all the time.
Happy hour.
Since our lab is more female dominated, how is it working with so many women?
I don't talk to people. I don't talk that much, so.
I had this case where this guy got robbed and I was supposed to end back his pockets, his pants pockets. I pulled out the evidence and it's not really pants, they're like pajama pants. And they had no pockets.
Horatio Caine did it for you, huh?
Oh my God, yes, he did. I mean, I thought I would be wearing dark glasses at DLI every day.
It's like your face.
Stop barking at the Amazon people.
If you want to make a difference too, come join our DLI family.